Hi, we're here today with another episode of our Above the Bar interviews. Today we have a postgraduate already, Diego Leyva, who performed at graduation, but we'll get to know him a little bit more. And we are excited to have you today. So, Diego, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
All right, well, I'm Diego Leyva, and I just recently graduated as part of the class of 2021 of Eureka High School. And yeah, I've been a part of the cross country and track team. I play guitar, and yeah.
So track and cross country. Did you do that all 4 years of high school?
Well, most of the time it was pretty much off and on. My freshman year, I did cross country, and I was actually part of the varsity team. I was the only freshman in the varsity team. Well, no, because Rashawn came a little later.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rashawn and I were the only freshmen on the varsity team of cross country. But then after that season, I ended up getting injured with my knees, and I couldn't participate in track. So sophomore year, I ended up joining track, but not cross country, to take care of myself. And in track, we came this close to qualifying for state in the 4x800.
Yeah.
But like we barely missed it. And junior year and senior year, I ended up just focusing on academics.
Yeah. And so with your academics, I know you're going to the University of Arizona next year. Is that correct? So what are you going to be majoring in?
Well, I'm going to try to enhance my future in music. So I'm going to be studying music production at the School of Music at the UofA.
Awesome. So did you do anything? I know you obviously play the guitar, we'll get to that in a second. But were you part of the band or anything in high school?
No, I've never been a part of the band. I've always just music has always been a part of my life. Like whether it was my mom playing music or me playing like little instruments that my parents would buy me. I had a little toy guitar, a toy drum. I would always just mess around with it. But I've never been a part of like the band or anything like an organization related to music.
Yeah, because our district has a really strong band program, so I was just curious of, but I know you're busy doing other things that sometimes that doesn't work. So tell me a little bit about the guitar. So you played the National Anthem, the kind of Jimi Hendrix version, I believe is kind of. So how did that come about? How did you decide that you wanted to play the guitar at your graduation?
Well, it was a day that we were all just like chilling in my room. My mom was here, my sisters were here, and I was just messing around, like playing like a few licks, a few songs. And my mom told me, she was you should learn the Star Spangled Banner. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'll play it. I'll learn it. And then the next day, I ended up getting the notification from Mr. Lopez saying that they were gonna give that the auditions for the Star Spangled Banner were gonna take place in like a few months. So I was like, okay, if I learn it, should I audition? I was like, should I just audition for it? And I ended up like talking it over with my mom and my dad, and they were like, you know what? Just go for it. Like if you want to pursue a career in music, you have to put yourself out there. So I was like, what better chance than that?
So that was your first live performance, in front of a crowd, but no pressure at your high school graduation, with no previous performance, and then you go out there and kill it with the National Anthem.
Yeah. I mean, that was definitely like one of my biggest like thoughts going into it. I was like, I've never performed in front of anybody but my family, and now I'm gonna go out in front of 4,000 people, like with all the attention on me, all the pressure on me, and just go do it. And I feel like that's a great learning experience for me. It felt really good, and I mean, I feel like that's what I was made for. You know what I mean? Like being up there. This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah. So it gave you a lot of confidence. So when you went out there, you didn't seem nervous at all. Were you nervous at all?
Well, I mean, I went out and I just try not to focus on the crowd. I try to just focus right here on my left hand, but I felt myself like my heart was calm, my body was calm, but my left hand was like it was a little shaky. I was like, okay, this is what I have to do. But I mean, other than that, I mean, being in front of the crowd didn't really intimidate me that much. But still, just having that idea of playing in front of people it takes a toll on your body a little bit, but I mean, I feel like I was pretty comfortable in that moment.
Yeah. So, and I know it was important because obviously it was your graduation. So, your fellow classmates, graduating with you, I know they were excited to have you participate and do that. So did you get a lot of support from your classmates and friends?
Well, I try not to tell too many people about it because not that many people know that I play the guitar, only like my family and my closest friends. And I just wanted to be like a surprise, you know what I mean? Like, oh, like Diego plays the guitar. Like, oh, let's see if he really can play. So I really wanted to like shock them and like surprise them and show them that I can play.
Yeah. And were they?
Yeah, yeah. When I walked back, they were like, "Wow, Diego, like that was awesome. Like good job." Like, yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, it was a great performance, especially for your first one. So live, not only was it in front of 4,000 live people, but it was live streamed, for some thousand people and recorded and everything else. So you had a lot of things going on with that. So that's a really a great way to, as we say, be above the bar and do the things that nobody else would take the challenge to do. So,
Yeah.
so you're going back to the U of A. So what made you decide on the U of A? Was it their music production program?
No. Well, I mean, it's always been like a dream to go to the U of A. Like ever since I was small, like I would say, you know what, like the U of A is the only one. Like we've always been big U of A fans. Like in the Pac-12 tournaments of basketball, like the U of A, whenever they were there, always rooting for them. My mom went to the U of A. My aunt went to the U of A, and one of my cousins just graduated from the U of A. And yeah, like it's always just been like I've always just wanted to go and like become a part of that Wildcat family.
And so, along with your guitar, I know that you had to put in some extra time to
Yeah.
get the right guitar. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that, how you had to go and work to get that extra time to get that guitar?
Well, yeah, like I had a guitar that I auditioned for that I ended up saving up for last summer by working, but I've always wanted to just like my first performance, I wanted it to be with my dream guitar. So I was like, okay, it's the middle of the school year, but I want to have the guitar by the time the performance comes. So I ended up going in the middle of the year to Farmer's Best Produce, and I ended up applying. They picked me up right away, and I ended up working all week except for the days that I went to school. And it was long days, 10, sometimes 12 hours a day. And then to come back home and like finish up homework, study for tests. And I mean, it was kind of hectic at times. Like there was times that I was like really like, wow, like this is how it is. You know what I mean? But I mean, I just had to push through it, persevere. And I mean, I just had to keep that determination and focus on what I wanted. And yeah, and after I saved up that money, I ended up buying the guitar, and I mean, it felt really good.
Yeah, and so you earned the guitar, and that was probably one of the things that helped with the performance. Having to have that made you a little more comfortable with having the right guitar with you. So what kind of guitar is it?
It's an Ibanez. Would you like to see it?
Yeah, please.
So it's an Ibanez Steve Vai signature gem. So Steve Vai is like one of my biggest like guitar heroes. He's a tremendous guitarist. And I mean, ever since the first time that I watched him play and I watched him perform with this guitar, I was like, I have to have it. I have to have it. And I mean, I wasn't going to stop working until I got it. So here it is. And I mean, it's just perfect.
Yeah. So Stevie Vai, does he belong to a band? Does he play with somebody?
For the most part, he's like independent. He's an individual solo guitarist. Like he just plays guitar. All of his music is pretty much instrumental.
Yeah.
But he did play for Whitesnake for like a good portion of time, and for David Lee Roth as well.
Yeah. And so I know it'll be a little bit for some of those people older that may not know who Whitesnake was, and And David Lee Roth was the lead singer for Van Halen. So I think, you know, some people don't know the 80s rock bands. So do you listen to other guitarists like Joe Satriani and some of those?
I love Satriani. I like Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, Guthrie Govan. Like I love all of them. Eddie Van Halen was one of a huge inspiration for me as well. Jeff Beck from Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
I mean, like there's so many. Like I can't even like. There's just so many that have inspired me to just play the guitar the way that I do. Hendrix. I mean, just like all of those just forced the love of guitar onto me.
Yeah. So what are some of your favorite songs to play?
Well, from Steve Vai, I love For the Love of God, Tender Surrender. By Joe Satriani, I love Always With You, Always With Me. I can play a little bit of AC/DC as well. I'd like to play some Thunderstruck, Back in Black, like some Guthrie Govan songs, Ancestral, Eruption here and there from Van Halen. Yeah.
So it's a lot, all kinds of different. So it sounds like you're a big '80s person, and then you're wearing a Purple Rain Prince shirt for the interview. So and people don't know that he was a great guitar player as well.
Guitar player, yeah.
So one of the things, you know, we're obviously building a performing arts center at the high school now. So maybe we'll have you come back and do a performance there, you know, as you're, you know, getting, you know, better on the guitar, and you have your own set of songs or something. Yeah. When we open it up, you know, we'll try to get a lot of performances from current students, past students, and since you already have one performance under your belt, it'd be great to have you come back and perform at the Performing Arts Center.
Oh yeah, I would love to. I would definitely love to.
Yeah. So before we let you go, you know, any advice for those students that are in high school now that you're a graduate? You know, how you made it through all the way through high school, were successful, you were an athlete, you know, obviously learned how to play the guitar, good student. Now you're going on to college. Any advice that you have for the incoming freshmen, you know, that are coming into Rio Rico High School?
Yeah, I mean, freshman year is definitely your most important year. It's your foundation that you build from all 4 years. And you always have to put forth your best effort in order to create the strongest foundation possible. So that if you make a mistake later on, you still have that strong foundation holding you up, rather than having a weak foundation and having to build up from there. So personally, I made the mistake of not really trying my freshman year, and I ended up missing the top 5% by one person. I was 16th, and the top 5% was 15.
Wow.
So that was a huge wake-up call for me, saying, you know what, if I would have tried my freshman year, I definitely would have been a lot higher. I would have been maybe top 10. So yeah, I mean, just put forth your best effort your freshman year, and always leave everything out there. Never sell yourself short. And I mean, regarding the guitar, like anything, if you have a passion and you feel like you want to continue it for the rest of your life, always just follow through with it. Always follow it. Never let it go. Always strive to be better and to get better and to teach others.
I think that's great advice. So thank you very much. And, you know, we wish you the best, and
thank you.
We're very proud of you being a graduate, but also performing the national anthem under pressure. And we look forward to hearing what happens with you in the future. So again, this is Diego Leyva with our Above the Bar interviews. Thank you, Diego.
Thank you.